So I think we'll start sitting cross-legged, hands on knees. Okay, so letting the hips, the pelvis be heavy. Let's start by grounding. And slowly allowing yourself to settle. It takes a bit of time for us to become aware and to notice. And sitting cross-legged isn't always that comfortable. Some people I see are sitting, not here now, but often in class, sitting like this, and it just looks really, really stressful. So if it's not comfortable to sit cross-legged, if you're not able to sort of become heavy, then don't sit that way, find another way to sit. And then letting your spine come up tall out of your pelvis. Extending the back of the neck by dropping the chin. Feeling that openness through the ridge at the back of your head and the crown of your head. And noticing how it feels to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out through the nose, if that's available to you. Introducing some circles by taking right ear to right shoulder, exhaling as the chin comes down to the chest. Left ear comes across to left shoulder, and then coming up and over. A moment to just notice how the neck is feeling this morning. It might be that you notice more than the neck. It is, after all, entirely interconnected. This body of yours, switching directions. Making your way back to center. And then slowly circling shoulders. So good to go slow. Give yourself the time to actually feel what's going on. You might want to circle your elbows. If you have the space, perhaps full arm extensions. And then with hands on knees, taking a moment to circle the heart all the way around the circumference of the pelvis. And then switching directions. And coming back to center. Let's interlink our fingers, press our palms up towards the sky. And take a little crescent moon over to one side. And come back to center and take a crescent moon over to the other side. It is, after all, a full moon today. So a little nod in the direction of the moon salutation. Coming back down to center. Left hand comes across to right knee. Right hand can come either to the small of your back or to the floor behind you. Inhale as you sit up. And then as you exhale, use your gaze to travel around, looking over your right shoulder. And then follow with the torso twisting. Then each time you breathe in, see if you can get a bit of extra height. And then releasing. Coming back to center, take a moment in center. And then the right hand comes across to the left knee, left hand behind. Inhale as you sit up tall, let the gaze lead you as you look across your shoulder, and then let the torso follow. And then coming back to center. Let yourself unravel as you come back to center and then pause and sense and feel all of that. We'll take our hands behind the back, fingers pointing towards sitting bones. Lean into your hands, soften your elbows, and then lift your heart as you look up towards the sky. Breathing into the front of your chest. So take some really deep breaths here. And then releasing. Coming back to center, and we'll just do one more. Giving our torsos the full scope of our range of movement. We're going to come forwards, chin to chest. Notice how your breath integrates with this movement. And then coming back up to center. Let's come on to all fours. So our practice today is Thursday is a slow day, so we're going slow. And we're focusing on hip openers. So let's start off with some cat and cow. Hands are beneath shoulders, knees are beneath hips. As you exhale, push the hands into the floor and send the heart up towards that full moon, which is probably still out this morning. Chin towards chest. And then as you inhale, let the heart move forwards between the gape of your arms, looking towards the front of the mat. Exhale as you tuck. Inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you tuck. And inhale as you come forwards. Tuck your toes under. Press down through the hands and just hover the knees up off the floor. Draw the belly in towards the spine. And then lift the tailbone as high as you can get it to go. You're right up on the balls of your feet, heels up high off the floor. Chin towards chest. And then exhaling, drawing your heels down towards the floor. And then lowering your knees back to the ground. We'll extend the right leg out behind us. And then take a nice outward circle with that knee as you exhale. And then inhale as you extend out behind you. So we get to do some hip circles. See if you can keep your pelvis relatively stable. So it's not swinging all over the place. And then extend back, look ahead. And this time as you exhale, take the knee out to the side, but place the foot down on the outside of your hands. And then hands and foot might walk a little further forward to allow your hips to become heavy in the direction of the earth. And possibly that right foot, the toes are pointing outwards. And you might like to take the foot onto its edge, on its little toe edge, so the knee can drop out to the side. And you're looking just ahead of your mat, and your breath is deep. See if you can find the stretch that works for you here. And then we're going to keep the foot where it is, but glide the sitting bones back, walk the hands back, and keep the heel down to the floor but the toes pointing up for a runner's stretch. Inhale as you look ahead, and exhale as you fold. And then coming forwards, returning back to this gentle version of lizard. And you can, if you want, come down onto your forearms. For some people, it's just one forearm that comes down. Some people both. And it is early in the morning, so don't worry if you want to stay on your hands. Try to keep looking toward the front of your mat, so you don't collapse your head. And then returning up onto your hands and bringing your knees back together. We'll tuck toes under again. Draw the lower belly in, let the knees hover. Lift the tailbone high. Going back into a down dog. And then inhale, reach the right leg up high behind you. And then as you exhale, bring the knee in towards your chest, and then you're going to take the foot across, but you're not coming into pigeon. We're doing a different version. We're going over to the left-hand side, 90 degrees, and then dropping that hip down to the floor. So left leg is out behind you, right leg is underneath you and over to the left-hand side. And then coming into a forward fold here. You need a bit of space in your room to do this. If you listen to the rhythm of your breath, just be conscious to bring it into a smooth and deep space. Let the hips be heavy. Every time you exhale, maybe you can drop deeper into this shape. And then coming back up onto your hands. Tuck the toes under of the back foot. Push into your hands and sweep that right leg all the way back up to a three-legged down dog. And then this time as you exhale, bring the knee forward and we will come into pigeon. Coming up onto your fingertips, dropping the shoulders away from your ears. A few moments, king pigeon pose is the one where you're sitting upright. It's almost as if when you see a pigeon with its chest fluffed out. For me, that's what king pigeon pose is all about. See if you can drop your shoulders away from your ears, let your hips become heavy. And then when you're ready, you can come forward and fold. Inhaling as you come back up, tuck the toes under of the back foot, push the heel away. We can take a high plank. As we drop our knees down to the floor. And then extend the left leg out behind you as you inhale, looking ahead. And then exhale, sweeping the knee round to the side and circling. And again, we're trying to hold the pelvis in a stable place. It's not rigid, there will be movement, but just conscious that it's not swinging all over the place. And curious about what you find as you circle. And extending back as you inhale. And on the next exhale, come around to the side and place the foot on the outside of your hand. Both foot and hands may walk a little further forward. Hips gravitate towards the floor. Toes might point outwards. Check in with your breath. Check in with your pelvis. How's Mula Bandha doing? And then walking your hands back, gliding your sitting bones back, keeping that front foot exactly where it is. Inhale as you look ahead, exhale as you fold. And then walking your hands forwards again. Looking ahead. Maybe the foot goes onto its knife edge so the knee can sweep out to the side. And perhaps you come down onto your forearms. Or not. Keep looking ahead so you don't drop your head. And then coming up onto your hands. And bringing your knees back together. Toes tucked under, hover the knees. Suck the lower belly in. Lift the tailbone up high. As you come into a down dog, heels dropping towards the floor. Inhale as you extend the left leg back. And as you exhale, bring the left knee in, sweep the leg across over to the right hand side as you close to the wall. It goes out 90 degrees. So the right leg is behind you, the left leg is sweeping over to the right. And fold heart to floor. And then coming back up onto your hands, tuck the toes under the back foot. And return to a three-legged down dog. As you inhale, look forward, sweep the knee directly between the hands. Foot goes to the side as we come into pigeon. A moment in king pigeon pose. As you let the spine rise tall from the pelvis. Feel how the breath feels here. And then traveling into a forward fold as you walk your hands out in front of you. Inhaling as you come back up. Sweeping that back leg around. And we'll take the soles of our feet together, holding onto toes, let the knees bounce out to the sides. Inhale as you sit up tall, and as you exhale, curl your way forwards, chin towards chest, crown of head towards toes. You might find your elbows rest on your inner thighs. They can gently push down. Then coming to sit back up, pressing your legs, bringing your hands together, offering the fruits of our practice always to all beings, so that our individual well-being becomes collective. Namaste.